Many moons ago, I worked in a healthcare facility for humans with dementia, and it was my favourite job. It was very interesting. And I had just been spiritually awakened, and by that I mean I was starting to see the world differently and see myself, other humans' life very differently, starting to experience extra spectrum incidents and becoming psychically attuned. And there was a woman named Barbara at the care home, and I at one point switched to night shifts from day shifts because of the questionable nature of some of the staff. But Barbara didn't have dementia, but she was she has been diagnosed as being schizophrenic, and people thought that she spoke to herself, but she told me that she was speaking to a man named John, who was often on the ceiling. And if you think about the amount of people that have passed over in those kind of environments, well. So one day I was working on the unit next door to where Barbara was living. She was bedridden, by the way. And she sometimes called for me. We enjoyed nice conversations, and I seemed to get her a bit more than some of the other staff. So she called for me, and I went into her room. She'd written something down on a pad, and she said, "John said, that's for you." And I looked, and it was all numbers. And I thought, well, it's not coordinates. I don't know what it is. Basically, I managed to convince myself that it was the winning lottery numbers, with a bit of shuffling around of the numbers. And so I, in full faith, went and put those numbers on for the following Saturday's lottery. So I had the ticket, and it was a few days, I believe. Or maybe it was the same day. Regardless, in the time before the draw, my heart was just increasingly filled with much joy, because I was thinking about the initiatives I could start, or the people I could help, or, all these wonderful ways that a large amount of money, a couple of £1 million, could be used. I didn't drift off thinking about Lamborghinis or not much for myself. And I finished work on the morning after the draw and walked home, and I tried to search for the numbers for the lottery, and Google would not bring up the page. So for some reason I went onto YouTube, because I wasn't even aware that it was a thing, but I found the draw, a repeat of it, and I watched myself not remotely win the lottery. Maybe got one number, and I wasn't disappointed. I didn't feel like I'd lost anything. From that moment, I knew that I couldn't be bought or sold, that my integrity is not for sale. Money could not change me, as it has so many before. And that feeling was more. It was worth more than winning the lottery. It felt like the opportunity to win the lottery every single day. Now, I love the idea of winning the lottery. As a syndicate, or as a group, a unit, intentionally and repeatedly, right? Because it's possible. But anyway, I have been experimenting, and I actually did win the lottery. It was a prayer manifest. I have a friend who lives in Africa. So it occurred to me the chances of winning and the chances of the money not affecting me are largely increased anyway by allowing other people to join in the prayer. So I asked him, brother, can we win the lottery? Do you have faith that we could win the lottery and use that money to do, a lot of things, help a lot of people? And he agreed, and I put the lottery on. But we won £2.50 because I forgot to say the jackpot. But we manifested a lottery win through faith. Also, the energetic dynamic of the prayer wasn't quite aligned. For example, I paid for 100% of the ticket. Now, if we were to sharpen the manifestation by bringing equal energy and both paying half towards the ticket, that's more like it. So that wasn't the time. Thank you for that. So, it is in my birth chart. I am supposed to have wealth in this life. And I've spent 39 years learning how to. And it's quite a hefty course in the school of life. Because that means learning how to live without money. In part, sometimes. Because it's not about the money. Money is just an energy. Money doesn't change who you are. It might amplify who you are. Well, it can only do that. The more money you have, the more amplified your energy. If it belongs to you. If that's what we're saying. So, you see, the wealth hoarders are sending out dirty vibes. Mine, 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 mine. Because it's fear. The love of money is just big fear. Like, gotta grab as much as you can because everybody else will take it otherwise. Well, we're past that anyway, aren't we? All that was taken shall be returned. Mine versus ours is no competition. Apples and oranges. Big ass oranges. That's maybe the secret. Because where two or more are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst also. So says the divine source creator. So we are magnetizing our abundance, our birthright on this earth, i.e., an equal share. And those who don't mind sharing will not mind receiving. Those who cannot receive will no longer take. Because we're planning a party. We need resources for that. Luckily, we know a woman. Mama's home. And fake daddy's in trouble. Jackpot.